First Venezuelan to score points in the playoffs. First Venezuelan to play in the Super Bowl. First Venezuelan to score points in the Super Bowl.
Late fuerte el corazón, con sudor y con honor, se levanta el campeón. Puños duros como hierro, mirada de gladiador. Cada golpe cuenta historia del esfuerzo y del dolor.
Hey, what's up? We're here with Andres Borregales from the New England Patriots in Miami Lakes, Florida.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Appreciate
you.
Thank you for coming.
On this podcast, we just talk about people that do hefe things, right? Mm-hmm. And make it to the highest levels of whatever their crafts are. Yeah. And, we connected with you. We started, I had the opportunity to think about, like, who would be dope and who are we trying to highlight. Mm-hmm. And then we connected. I was like, dude, a kicker in the NFL is wild. Yeah. The amount of pressure you go through, yeah. You're basically battle tested. I think kickers are probably some of the most battle tested human beings. Is that true?
I think it's true. Maybe not so much physically compared to, other positions, but I think definitely mentally. Because at the end of the day, you just go out there, you have one kick. You might even just go out to the field one time the entire game. Obviously not counting kickoffs, but it could be at the beginning of the game or it could be at the end of the game to win the game. So it's like you kind of just have to be prepared no matter what and kind of treat every single kick like it's a game-winning kick.
Anyone that I've known that's been successful, there's more failure than there is success, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm sure you're grinding all the time, and it's pretty boring to be great at something. I'm assuming you've put in your 10,000 hours in kicking field goals.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, I started kicking when I was 5, so those 10,000 hours were probably up by like maybe high school, probably way over that now. But there's a lot of behind-the-scene work that goes in, and a lot of, like you said, like failure in practice, because I mean, as a kicker, you can't. There isn't much room to fail in game, because if you're out there, they need you. So you need to be able to perform, on the spot, no matter what. So,
bro, when I see kickers that have to like make a tackle, or like, oh shoot, dude's breaking free. Is your wife and like your family like, oh shit, like has that happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely my wife's over there, so she's definitely like, uh-oh.
But how do you feel, bro?
For me, I mean, I growing up, I played, running back and like other positions, so it's like I know how to tackle. Obviously, some of them might be bigger than me, but at the end of the day, I'm still gonna put my body on the line just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to score, so I'm gonna go ahead and tackle. If I tackle you, cool. If I don't, at least I made you stop a little bit, and everybody else is coming for backup. So,
has that happened to you in the NFL yet?
Yes, I have one tackle in the NFL. It was against the Panthers.
By the way, his wife's sitting right here, and I could tell by the look on her face, like she knows like every moment his life's been in danger. So, all right, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it was just it was a kickoff. He managed to get through. I managed to. He was kind of not falling, but he tripped a little bit. So I hit him. He went down, but then my teammate kind of hit me. So it looked like I got smacked, but it was just by my teammate. It was all good though. But they gave me the solo tackle, so I'll take
nice. Do you remember what it felt like getting up from that moment? Like, did you feel like, all right, I did something more?
I kind of get mad when it gets to that point, because that means something like that we did went wrong, and it's something we need to fix. So I kind of just got up and just went to the sideline and like, all right, let's see what happened. And then we obviously go to the sideline, fix it up with the coach and whatever happened in front. And then we just go from there. And then you're still in a game, so you just got to flip the page and keep it going.
Are there kickers that avoid the tackle?
I think there are. Like, some kickers may not want to get hit. I think naturally as you get older, just because as a kicker you could play a little longer. Like once you're kind of at the back end of your career, let's say you have like a 20-year career, and you're in your 40s or late 30s, like you may not want to get hit or hit somebody because you never know what's going to happen with your body, and you want to you want to stay healthy.
Right.
But it really just depends. Sometimes you want to hit somebody, sometimes you're just like,
yeah,
might get a little scared, but
no, and I think that you got to be brave, right? Who's the GOAT in your profession?
In my profession, like just NFL in general?
No, just in
kicking. Vinatieri. I mean, he just got inducted to the Hall of Fame, so that kind of, that's a stamp. Like, okay, like I'm the best. But I mean, even just what he did throughout his career. Obviously, I wasn't really alive for half his career, but I was able to kind of see the back end of his career, which I'm grateful for. And obviously, there's been a lot of great kickers since then. But I think he's definitely the GOAT.
Have you met him?
I have. He's an awesome dude. I've met his son as well. I was actually working a kicking camp, and he was there, so I got to coach him up a little bit, talk with him. But he's an awesome guy.
And so let's talk about the beginnings now. You grew up where?
In Miami. Yeah. So I was born in Venezuela, and then moved to Miami when I was 2 years old.
Yeah. Cheers, by the way, bro. Cheers. What do you think?
I love it. It's great. I love mango, so it's a win-win.
You grew up, born in Venezuela. Your parents speak English?
Spanglish. It's a little. It's gotten better. I'll leave it at that.
Spanish dominant.
Yeah, Spanish
dominant.
Hablas
español perfectamente bien.
Sí.
Where did you start kicking?
I started kicking when I was 5. So my brother's team, so he's 5 years older than me, their team needed a kicker. And then obviously we both played soccer at the time. So my brother's like, hey, like I play soccer, like why don't I try? And then he started practicing kicking, me being the little brother. I'm like, oh, I want to do the same thing as him. And the rest is history at that point.
You get along with your brother?
Yeah.
You guys never fought growing up?
We definitely fought. But I think as we got older, that kind of went away a little bit.
How big's your family?
We got a pretty big family. But usually, I mean, most of our family's either in like Chile. Got some family in Canada. So mainly just here in the States. It's really just my parents, my sister, and my brother. So
have you been to Venezuela?
Have not been back.
Why did your parents come here?
I mean, that was like the first couple years Chavez was in office, so they kind of, I guess they kind of knew where it could have headed or where it was going to. So they kind of just took the initiative and said, all right, like, because we've taken like vacations to like Orlando and stuff like that. So they kind of already knew if they were to move to the States, they knew kind of where.
Yeah.
And like I said, just took the initiative and just sold everything over there, and then kind of just started up again in the States, just so me, my brother, my sister can have a better future.
Dude, I love that so much, because it's like you come to a country with nothing, leave everything behind, and now they have 2 kids, right, that have played collegiately, gone to college, and you obviously being in the NFL. You were drafted, I think, 6th round?
6th round, yep.
You were the first kicker taken in the draft?
Taken.
Where were you on draft day?
I was actually, it was like a little party room. I don't know how you could say it, but it was in the building that me and my wife had our first apartment together. So we were just in there. Obviously, my whole family, her whole family, like my friends, her friends, my coaches as well from UM. They were all there, and then obviously got the call, and now we're here.
Dope, dude. That's so cool, man. When did you first say to yourself, I want to go to the NFL?
Probably say like 7th or 8th grade. 'Cause that was when my brother was in college. So I was like, all right, I kind of I want to be like him, because I looked up to him, and that's when I started to get a little bit more traction with like recruiting wise, because of my brother at the time. But then once I got into high school, that's when I quit soccer, just stayed with football. Um, and then I started getting recruited like FIU, UM, like Louisville, North Carolina. And I was like, okay, like I can go to college for free. And I was like, maybe I could take this the whole way. Um, and then that's kind of when I just put my head down and went to work.
Did you play in the NIL era?
Yeah.
Did you get any NIL money?
I did.
How'd that work out?
It was great. I mean, the first year of NIL was my freshman year. So it was kind of just brand new. Only like the big names got a little bit of money. Then sophomore year, they allowed schools to actually give money to the students or the players. So that's when it kind of just exploded a little bit. Obviously not what it's like today, but it was a lot back then. But I mean, it was great. I think they might make a couple changes in a couple years, but we'll see.
NIL's wild, dude.
Yeah.
It's like Wild West right now.
Uh-huh.
And what introduced you guys to football? As a Latino family, like football's not really like a sport for us, right? Like
Yeah. I mean, we lived there like 5 minutes from a football field. But obviously, like we grew up playing soccer, so it's like that's kind of what we knew. But we went to the field one day. I don't remember this. It's just like what my mom has said and what my brother remembers. But they went to the park, or we went to the park. My brother saw kids with helmets on, and he was like, "Oh, I want to wear a helmet." Like, didn't know nothing about the sport, just that he wanted to wear a helmet. Then one of the coaches like heard my brother say that. We took him, and then the Pee Wee coach, which is like that's like the 5-year-old division. He like looked at my mom and then pointed at me. He was like, "Is he joining too?" See me again being the little brother. I was like, "Yeah, I want to join," and now we're here.
That's dope. And then, did your parents? So there's a language barrier. They don't know football. Like, does your mom now? Like, obviously now they know football. And
yeah, now they know football. Like they definitely understand and speak English like well. But at the time, it was definitely a little harder. That language barrier was a big thing, but that's kind of where we came in, because like obviously we spoke Spanish at home, but learned English at school, and like at school with our friends, like we would talk English. So we would kind of help with the translation growing up. But then they obviously learned English, learned how to like obviously understand it and speak it. So.
Is there a kick that you're like, I'm good from here? Like in golf, like my 7-iron's good, or I'm good from 150, or I'm good. Oh, in your case, I'm good from 43. I'm good from.
I mean, it usually depends on the weather conditions, like on game day. But if obviously it's everything's perfect, like there's no wind, like weather's great, I'd probably go like 60 and in. I'm good.
Freshman year compared to your rookie year in the NFL, same nerves?
No, definitely different. I think I was more nervous freshman year than rookie year. Just because freshman year I was 18, and it was my first time playing in front of like 40, 50,000 fans. So that definitely kind of is more nerves like there. Obviously, I wasn't used to it. Obviously, like over the years, I started just to get used to it. So it's like, okay, like if it was 60,000 fans, I'd be like, okay, like that's a normal game. Like it's just at the end of the day, you're going out there for like at least for kickers, it's just like a practice. Like,
so is football like your first favorite sport?
Realistically, no. My favorite sport is soccer, the real football, I guess you could say.
Right.
But no, I mean, but I honestly love both sports, but I do watch soccer more just because I grew up playing it, and obviously I grew up playing football too, but now football has turned more into a job. Like I still have fun. Like you can't take that away because at the end of the day, it's my job is a sport that I've been playing since I was 5. So it's like can't really complain much.
Right.
So I love it. Like I love game days. I love even just practicing. But yeah, definitely soccer. Soccer has a special spot in my heart.
When you first showed up to like Patriots locker room, is there this little kid moment where you're like, wow, are you kind of already used to it from the U? And
No, there's definitely that little kid moment because now it's not just like this is the pros. You know, it's something that you've dreamed of ever since you were little. So you definitely have to take time to kind of let that side of you out and be like, okay, like actually take in everything that's around you.
who are the top 5 kickers right now in the NFL?
I'd probably say Brandon Aubrey, Cowboys, Kaimi Fairborn, Texans. Oh my gosh, Chris Boswell, Steelers. Cam Little, Jaguars. And I would put myself, but I'm not going to do that.
Do you think you're in the top 5?
I mean, I definitely believe it.
What makes you confident, and how much does confidence play a role in your job?
Confidence plays a big role because if you go out there and in your mind you're like, oh, I don't know if I can make this kick, you're gonna miss it 10 out of 10 times. Like if you don't go out there thinking you're like no one can compete with you, then you'll be fine. And then that's kind of like the mindset you have to have. It's again, it just goes back to being competitive. You know, you want to be the best, but definitely going out on the field, like, yeah, I may be friends with you. Like I remember, like in college camps or high school kicking camps, like you would be kicking against like your friends because you saw them in, let's say, Cali, you saw them in Texas, you saw them in Vegas, like all these little different like camps all around the nation. And it's like you make those bonds, you know, you create those relationships, and it's like those friends are either in the league now or I still talk to them, and they just obviously fortunately didn't make it to the league, but doesn't mean I'm not going to be friends with them. But like on the field, it's like a different mindset. Like, yeah, you're my friend, but you're not beating me in this. Like I'm always going to have a step over you no matter what. So that's definitely something that I think every kicker has that though. So
Are you seeing less concussions than you did in
um,
high school, college?
definitely. I mean, I think naturally, like, because you could have a concussion and still be acting normal, like nothing's wrong. Which that's why there's so much research that has gone into it, just because you don't want it to get worse. You know, because if you get 2 concussions back to back or 3, like that's when it becomes deadly, and you may have like just brain damage. But with the research now, and especially with the padded helmets, I'm blanking right now on the name of the actual thing because it's tip of my tongue. I can't get it. But I think it's a great invention because it really does lower the chance of getting a concussion. But obviously, some players don't like wearing it, which is completely fine. But I know now they're actually making helmets like that are actually like dispersing the energy, and you know, so you don't get that high of a percentage of getting a concussion. So.
Yeah, lowers your risk.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 4 sisters and 1 brother.
You're the youngest?
The youngest of 6. Yeah.
Who's the oldest?
Oldest is my half sister from my dad's side.
And then your brothers?
My brother is the second youngest. So me and my brother are the 2 youngest of the 6.
That's cool. And so your brother kicked at the U as well?
Yeah. So he went 4 years at FIU, and then his grad year went to UM, and then ended up playing for the Buccaneers for a year and a half, just on the practice squad, but he was still in there. And then after that, he just was bouncing around, and now he has his own family, got his own kid and everything. So
That's cool. Is your family strict growing up?
I wouldn't say strict, but definitely like discipline.
Yeah.
Like if especially with sports, like if you want to play the sport, like you're gonna put in the work in, because you're not just gonna play it just to play it. Obviously, when you're younger, yeah, but once I got older, it was kind of like, all right, like you gonna take it somewhere, or are you just gonna play it just for fun?
So would
Yeah.
you say your house is a Spanish speaking household?
Yeah, I think so. Because so for example, like me and my brother, even though we speak English most of the time,
Yeah.
we can't speak English to each other. Like I always have to like it's just weird. I don't know. We always speak Spanish to each other.
Text.
Text, everything. Like we anything in English unless we like are blanking on a word in Spanish, like we'll say it in English. But other than that, strictly Spanish.
Speaking of Spanish speaking athletes, so there's a lot of like Latino last names in the NFL. I mean, they're popping up more and more,
Yeah.
right? But they're like these no sabo kids, right?
Yep.
They're like no sabo kids that don't know. Were you like the one dude que Univision y Telemundo, o sea, todos estaban entrevistando?
Sí, yo era el único que hablaba español porque ahí teníamos a Cristian González y a mi amigo que jugué en Miami con él, Elijah Arroyo. Él es mexicano, pero no habla español. Él lo entiende, eso sí, pero no habla. Entonces, todos los media de español me venían a mí a preguntarme las preguntas a mí porque los demás no sabían cómo hablar español. Entonces, yo estaba ahí hora y media ahí hablando español con ellos.
No, recuerdo que de niño, o sea, viendo la tele o entrevistas en Telemundo, Univisión o los medios españoles, en español, it's like they're interviewing the water boy and shit because there's like, everyone's like interviewing the water boy or like, you know, like the medical crew because there's like no one speaks Spanish.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, it's normal because I mean it is an American sport, so it's like you may not have many Spanish speaking players. I think now you're starting to see a little more. But still, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm the only Venezuelan in the league, so it's things like that.
How many Latinos are in the league?
There's a good bit. Like they may not be born there, but they were, like I guess their parents, like their mom or their dad, is from that country. So
who is the best Spanish-speaking player in the NFL?
I'm probably the best Spanish-speaking player in the NFL.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
yeah, because we see all these no sabo kids playing in the NFL.
Yeah,
and that's cool. And I love seeing. I remember one of my favorite players ever was Aaron Hernandez because I just saw Hernandez, and then obviously some other stuff came out about him. But like he was a dude, and he was tough and gritty, and you just see Hernandez. I want his jersey, and till I threw it away. Like that. Just Have you met Tom Brady?
I met him actually when I was in college because he came to one of our practices. He spoke to us after a practice. So I met him there, but it was just brief. Honestly, he's just probably just saying hi to everyone. But ever since that day, I haven't.
You haven't seen him in New England? And
No, I haven't. At least I personally haven't. I don't know if he's been there.
Yeah.
Probably has. I don't know.
Just pretend you're still playing soccer. Would you want to play for the U.S. national team or Team Venezuela?
I'd probably play for Venezuela just because I was born there. So it's like, and I take pride at being Venezuelan. So I'd definitely play for the Venezuelan. Obviously, it'd be nice to play for the U.S. But I gotta stay with my roots.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think we all would say the same thing as a Latino, like how proud we are, right?
Yeah.
And that's a complex question because
yeah,
it's like, well, you live in the U.S. And the U.S. gives you opportunity.
Exactly.
But it's like where we're from. It's where we're from. It's what makes us proud. It's like I'm Mexican, right? So I'm like, I'd play for Team Mexico over Team USA.
Oh yeah.
My blood's from there, right? Your lineage, your heritage. And it's not that we don't love this country. We do.
Exactly. I mean, they gave me a job.
All right. Was there ever a moment where you're like, when you get to the NFL or once you're in the NFL, like, oh shoot, I am one of the only Latinos?
Yeah, it definitely hit me. Maybe not during the season, like during the regular season, but definitely in the playoffs and like in the Super Bowl and stuff. That's when it kind of got bigger because it started being like, oh, there's the first Venezuelan to score points in the playoffs, first Venezuelan to play in the Super Bowl, first Venezuelan to score points in the Super Bowl. So it's like things like that, and I'm like, appreciate it.
That's dope.
Which I'm like, oh, like I never thought about it that way. Um, so that's when it really got a little bit more personal, where I'm like, okay, like I'm the first to do it. Like it's not just, and like no one can change that. No one can go back and be like, oh no, I'm the first. Like no, that's not something that's gonna change. Um, which definitely, like I said, it was very personal. Because I my whole family that lived there, they all had to move out because of situations. Um, but it's just little things like that that it's definitely special in my heart.
So your family came here, you were younger,
Mm-hmm.
6 brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
What did your pops do when you first got here?
I'm pretty sure. So we all came. So it was my mom, my sister, my brother, and me. Obviously, we came first because my dad was taking care of something back in Venezuela, and then I want to say maybe a couple months after we were already like settled here. He came over, and they used to work in like the pharmacy side back in Venezuela. So they tried doing that here. I think they had it going for a couple years. I think I don't really remember what happened. But then my dad started working at the airport, and he's been there for 18 years, 17 years, something like that. And then my mom is a pharmacy technician.
But one thing about Latinos is we hold jobs, bro. We could
Yeah.
hold it. We hold jobs. Give us a job, we will hang on to that thing like it's gold. Like,
Uh-huh.
and it's like you go to LA, you go to like a fancy restaurant. Some of the most successful restaurants come because the waiter's been there. How long you been here? No, tengo aquí 30 años. No, ni mijo, desde que estabas chiquito he trabajado aquí. And bro, that's another thing we're proud about is like how hard we work, right? Mm-hmm. And speaking of hard work, or when your dream became to go in the NFL, how old were you?
12, 13.
Did you know you were going to go to the NFL?
Maybe not at first, because I still wasn't in high school yet. But I want to say my sophomore year of high school, that's when I knew. I was like, all right, like I'm gonna be in the NFL.
What was that point where you're like, I got a shot?
I started to separate myself from the other kickers in my class. Like it was like a handful of us that started just separating. So I knew I was like, a couple of us from this handful are gonna make it.
And what separated you?
I think it was just the mindset, and then just the work that we put in. To be honest, like we would go to camps, and it's like some of the guys are just goofing around and doing this, like, and like this little handful, it's like, yeah, we can goof around before and after, but during like a competition, like we're not talking to nobody. Like we're just focused on what we need to do.
How would you say it's repetition?
Definitely.
Anything you do in life, success comes with a tremendous amount of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Every rep in the beginning, there's more misses than makes, right?
Mm-hmm.
How important is repetition and consistency?
Yeah, I think repetition is honestly the number one thing that comes with consistency. Because I mean, I've pretty much been doing the same thing since I was 5. The only difference is, I'm bigger now. Like my technique's a little better. But at the end of the day, like I'm still doing the same thing I was doing when I was 5. So it's like, realistically, if I wasn't kicking, like when I was little, I used to go every Saturday and Sunday. So it's like, if I wasn't doing that, like I probably wouldn't be where I am today. but it's definitely, and it can get, I guess, how you were saying earlier, a little boring. But that's why, like, especially now that I learned, like, being a pro is like, even if it's boring, doesn't matter. Like, there's still something to strive for. Like, that's I think that's one thing that I pride myself in, and so I don't get bored of it. Like, there's always something to get better at. Like, even if one day, like, oh, I didn't miss any, but for me, it's like, yeah, like, I didn't miss any, but this ball flight wasn't how I liked it, so I'm gonna fix that. So it's like every day there's something new to work on.
How rotational is kicking?
Like, with your body,
Yeah,
or
with your body.
very, very rotational. Because I mean, you're coming in at an angle, and it's very similar to soccer
Yeah.
too. But with soccer, there's different ways to hit a soccer ball. With football, there's realistically only one way. So you have to train your body to be able to hit that consistently. Like, your hip like has to line up with your leg locking out, hitting the ball and all that. And it's like, it takes time to get that timing down, and that's why it becomes like muscle memory, instead of it just being like, oh, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do it, but you're never gonna get it if you're not doing it multiple times a week, or just doing it over and over and over again. Don't matter, like, it doesn't matter the outcome. Like, it's more of just getting that repetition, because at the end of the day, at some point in time, you're gonna start seeing results. So you just have to go from there.
And kicking, is it a perishable skill?
It depends.
Like, if you don't practice for like 2 weeks, does your accuracy diminish?
Definitely. I think a little bit. Like, if you're just sitting around doing nothing, but it's very, like, if you're at this point, like, it's very easy to just get back in rhythm. Because I think kicking is a very, like, it's very rhythm based. Like, if you're in a rhythm, you're fine. But now if something messes up that rhythm, you're gonna start having those like miss hits where it's just gonna go like wide left, wide right, like bad rotation, like whatever it is. You have to be able to kind of find that rhythm and stay in it as long as possible, at least during the season. Like, off season, okay, if you get out of rhythm, it's okay. Like, you're not in this, like, you're not playing a game yet, so you have time to fix it and like correct it.
All right, so dude, thanks for your time. So all right, now we're gonna go to a field right now.
Yep,
And kick. Can a normal person kick a field goal?
I think so. Maybe after a couple tries, but yeah, I think so.
From how far?
Normal person, like, no athletic
Nothing.
background. Wait, see, that changes.
All right, fine. An
changes.
athletic. I'm a baseball player. I play baseball. so-
Baseball, I'd give you maybe like a college extra point, so 20 yards.
College extra points on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, but you're 8 yards back, so you're at the 10.
That's it. You think I could kick a college extra point?
I think so. After a couple tries.
How long do you think it would take?
With no coaching, like 20. With a little bit of coaching, I'd give you maybe 10.
All right. Let's see. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's do
En el ring
it.
suena el tambor, late fuerte el corazón, con sudor y con honor, se levanta el campeón, puños duros como hierro.
Super Bowl and stuff, that's when it kind of got bigger, because it started being like, oh, there's the first Venezuelan to score points in the playoffs, first Venezuelan to play in the Super Bowl, first Venezuelan to score points in the Super Bowl. I'm the first do it. You know, like it's not just, and like no one can change that. You know, no one can go back and be like, oh no, I'm the first. Like no, that's not something that's gonna change. Um, which definitely, like I said, it was very personal. Because you know, I my whole family that lived there, they all had to move out because of, you know, situations. Um, but you know, it's just little things like that that it's definitely special in my heart.